Well, it's Tuesday evening, and can you believe that just 2 weeks ago I was out here working on painting that final side of the house, and now we've got a good 6 inches of snow on the ground. Yeah, it's crazy how quickly things can change, but again, I just am reminded of all the time that I had to work on this project into the fall that I didn't expect to get. So very thankful for that, and the snow is beautiful, and now I have to crack down on myself and work up the oomph to keep going. It's easy to look at it and be like, yeah, we could let it sit, but I don't want to do that. Yesterday and today, I have been at home baking bread, doing some sourdough baking, some regular baking, and that has been really good. I just got back from being away, which maybe I should be at the house working now, but it was nice to just take a little time just to kind of decompress from my trip and from all that I've been doing on the house and do something that I really love to do. So, and what better way to spend some snowy days than in the house baking. So, but yes, later this week I'll be getting to it. So yeah, just gonna keep working on what I can. Well, it is a cold morning in Minnesota. It's about 11:30 and it just warmed up to 10 degrees and the wind chill is below zero. So needless to say, I got a later start than I had planned on this morning. And my first order of business is to find my propane heater. So far I haven't had any luck, so I'm hoping maybe it's at the house. I didn't think that it was, but I have really kind of one or two more places to check over there. I was just here checking my storage unit to see if that propane heater might be here, and I don't think that it is. It would be somewhere closer to the front because I bought it last summer. So yeah, so now I'm gonna head to my house. I can't find the heater that I have. I'm gonna have to invest in one so that I can continue doing some things at the house. And if I can't find it, there's a few things that I know that I can still do over there, but it might be kind of a short day. So, well, I was not able to find my propane space heater. So yeah, it's pretty chilly here. The one project I'm trying to get done is I want to get my wood stove that's outside covered so it doesn't get all rusted over during the winter. But I found that it already has quite the pile of snow on it with ice underneath. So I'm thinking I might try and get it going to melt that off and dry it out before covering it up. But then that means that I need to stay around long enough for it to cool off to be able to cover it. So, but I think that's probably what I'm gonna wind up doing. And hopefully if I get it running and it's hot enough, can use it to warm up and still do some things in between, work on a little bit of a project, warm up, that kind of thing. So I think that's what I'm gonna shoot for. So yeah, probably not as productive of a day as I would like, but I feel good about at least getting over here and trying to work on some things. So, and hopefully I can get a system worked out so that I can actually do some work, but I have a feeling it's going to take a little bit of of time to get that worked out, but I won't figure it out unless I start working on it. So that's what I'm doing today. So my plan is working. I was able to get the fire going in here, and it is melting things off very quickly, and it feels nice and warm. So I'm gonna get it going a little better here, warm up a little, and then try and do a few other little projects. So I realized I should have put my hand washing station away before now, because all of my things still had water in them, and so they are frozen solid. So I'm trying to melt them so I can put them away without water in them. So we'll see. I'll have to keep the stove going pretty hot probably to do that, but it's definitely worth an effort. Oh, and if you see my board here on top of the stove, that's where I had my camera sitting for taking some video here. So I realize that's one issue that I'll run into if I continue working out here in the cold. I can handle the temps, but my phone cannot. So actually recording things and sharing them with you might be more difficult than I had originally thought about. So hence the camera sitting on the board on top of the wood stove, so it's slightly warmer there. But yeah, I might have to get creative for figuring out how to be able to film and share it with you in cold temperatures. So that could play into what the next months look like, but we'll figure something out. So I'm still having a hard time taking in the fact that it was just a little over 2 weeks ago that I was out here working on painting and wood filling and caulking, and it's so satisfying to see this complete, and yet it's hard to believe that now everything's covered with snow and ice, and so I feel even more grateful that I was able to get done what I did while the weather was nice. I do have one last piece to finish before I can take the scaffolding down. I need to get these windows covered with some plastic from the outside. As you can see, the windowsill is very rotted, and the windows themselves will be replaced eventually. But I don't want water getting into the house through the windowsills, so I'm gonna cover the exterior with plastic to keep that out. So all right, so we got it all covered up. And you may have noticed as I was covering it, I kept touching the top a few times with my hands. I was just trying to make sure that it wasn't too hot to put the tarp over, but I think it's good. So it looks a little redneck, but it should keep most of the moisture off of it and help keep it from rusting out. So that's the goal.